I just wanted to get your name. Had a tough loss tonight, but let's start out with your name. What's your name?
Yeah, Jeff Burton.
Jeff Burton. And you were saying that you actually have a podcast?
Yeah, Guys on the Sideline. It's similar to you guys a little bit. It's crazed fans, right? We're jazz fans.
There you go.
We don't know it all, but we know enough.
Well, I feel like he knows enough. I feel like I really don't. I'm just like really excited, and I love to talk to people, but I mean, we love the Jazz. This one was a little rough tonight. It wasn't a full squad Raptors, and our starters kind of had a rough game, but what did you see out there?
Yeah, it was a tough game. The crazy thing about the Jazz this season is I feel like they're losing a lot of games that they should win, and I feel like they're winning some games that maybe we shouldn't, like
right.
this road trip that we just went on.
Yeah.
The thing that I think stood out tonight is you had Rudy and Donovan combined. They had 17 points and 7 boards. It's just not going to get it done.
No. Those two, I mean, and you can see the difference. It's if we get a little bit of production from those two, we probably have 105 points. We win that game, and they're the ones fouling us at the end. One thing that you did say, as far as like the stretch where we are beating teams that we probably shouldn't, I think the perfect microcosm of that for the season is we're at home against the Celtics. They don't have Kemba Walker, and we lose. Right. Whereas then we go there, They get Kemba Walker back, and we win.
You'd think there's no way that happens, but it happens. Kind of inexplainable.
Yeah, I don't know. But one thing we've been talking about tonight as well is the two big things are bench production and defense. What have you been most impressed with? Is it like the turn that we've had from the bench, or has it been more of our dedication to defense?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think the defense is clicking like it should.
Really?
Typically, I think Quinn Snyder has better defensive teams. You've got the Defensive Player of the Year, and yet what did Phoenix drop on us? 130 the other night? That's an inexcusable loss.
Right.
I would have to say, let's spin this to a positive. I mean, I think the bench has potential. Royce played well. I know he's not on the bench. He is, kind of fighting his way back into the starting role. Royce is playing well. Jordan Clarkson, though, you have to say he has to be the big pickup. Yep. Played okay tonight. There were a lot of shots that were just in and out, which was kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
A couple of them dropped.
Some of the threes he usually makes.
And maybe this game ends a little bit differently. But, I mean, the Jazz, I think if you told me before the season began that they'd be the 4 or 5 spot in the West, I think I would have been pleased with that.
Yeah.
But they got to figure it out right now because going down the stretch and to make a playoff run is going to be very, very tough. And, I think maybe the chemistry in the locker room, I think they got to gel better together if they're going to be able to beat Houston or the Clippers or the Lakers or even Denver.
I think, so I agree with you 100%. I think we are starting to peak at the right time. And I didn't phrase the question well enough, but I think on the defensive end, I think you're right, though. From the Suns on, I think we've only had 110 scored over once. Other than that, it's been 101, under 100. We've been keeping teams lower because it was getting crazy, like 120, 130 plus. I think we're gelling at the right time. This game is a bummer, but I feel like you said, we're now figuring out our lineups. We're figuring out the gelling issues, and I think they're going to figure it out. And I kind of agree. I would hope that maybe we were in the 3rd seed, but you can't be upset with 4 or 5.
Yeah, totally agree. And I think, our all-stars, Rudy and Donovan, I think they've had a good season. But you tell me, there have been some games like tonight, Donovan played, I think, better than Rudy, but there's some games that just Rudy seems off, and I don't know if he's just fatigued. I don't know if he's feeling a little under the weather, but he needs to be more of a force down low. And I think, one of my good friends, Sam knows, he said tonight, and I totally agree with him, if Rudy would be more aggressive and take it to the hole like he means business, I think he'd get a lot more fouls.
Yeah.
He'd get a lot more of the calls, but I don't know what it is. Sometimes he just kind of fades or fizzles a little bit, and he's got to be a little more intense to get the calls, I think.
I agree. And I think if it seems like we went a little bit away from his dunking and everything, I think if we get him just getting the cameraman always says 5 dunks a game, or just five easy. There you go. That's where he wants to be. But let's get a shout out one more time for your podcast. That way we can get some people going and checking that out. And we'll let you go and get out of the cold.
Absolutely. So it's Jeff with Guys on the Sideline. That's Guys on the Sideline. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. We love to hear from Jazz fans. So
can they find you on the sidelines?
They can find us on the sidelines.
Find them at the games.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.